All right. In section 9.5 loans, we do have two parts. Part 1, explore credit cards, and part 2 is understanding amortized loans. I'm gonna come back and post another video, a separate one on the amortized loan a little bit later, but actually did record this already and then the file just got lost. I didn't have enough free space on my laptop, so the video file that I recorded just went away. So I have all my answers filled out, but I'm gonna go through this with you here so that you understand where these numbers came from, okay? So if you download the blank PDF, you will see that rate, NPER, PMT, present value, future value, and the 5 built-in Excel functions that we started using last week on 9.4. Remember, we used the present value, future value, and the payment function last week on 9.4. This week, we're going to look at the NPER, the number of periods required to achieve some financial goal, and the payment, which is going to help us figuring out the monthly payment for this credit card. So we're going to be using NPER and PMT function in section 9.5. Okay, so let's take a look at the first example on this first page. Now, sorry, I got these already typed up for you. Is this? Yeah, I'm going over this quick. All right, you charge a spring break trip to Cancun with your friends and come back with many happy memories and a balance of $19.37 on your credit card. Now that's the debt that you're going to have to pay off, right? Compute how long will it take to pay off the card, assuming that you make $150 payment each month. So these two numbers are set. You know that you owe this much, and you're willing to pay $150 every month. For each of these three APRs, compute the total interest paid in each scenario. So take a look at what I did first. What they are asking is this: how long will it take to pay off the card? And I'm making monthly payments. So in other words, they're asking you how many monthly payments do you need to make? If the answer is 12, that means, oh, I just need to pay, the period, it'll be 1 year. But what we are going to use is this NPER function. So take a look. I typed in equal sign, NPER, and I really just really did that on the Excel, and I screenshotted it with you. That's just lost now, but let me do at least the first one together again. So what I'm doing is equal sign, and then we're typing in NPER. NPER, that's going to let us figure out how many payments we need to make. And the first APR is 14.26%, and we're going to divide that by what number? 12, because we're making monthly payments. This is going to get compounded every month. 12, comma. Now, what's the payment amount? Now, notice for the first time, we're going to use a negative symbol. Why? Because, well, we have a debt, but we're paying it off every month. So I'm going to go ahead and say negative 150. Every month, I'm paying off $150. Next one, present value. I owe them $19.37 so far. And then I want the future value to be how much? I want $0 on my credit card, right? So if I type that in and hit enter, it's going to give me 14.10, and I just rounded to 2 decimal places. So what does that mean? I need to make 14.1 payments to, well, I say 14.1 payments, but anything over 14, well, I have to pay how many payments? 15 payments, right? So that's how we can figure out the required number of payments using NPER function. Now, let's look at the second one together. The second one is, well, slightly higher APR, 19.17%, right? So I keep everything the same, but just going to change the APR to 19.17%, and everything else will stay the same. We're still making monthly payments, the amount of $150, starting with $19.37, we want to go to 0. So the number of required payment is 14.58. That's how I got that number. And the very last one, the APR is higher. Now remember, with the higher interest rate, well, we're gonna get in. Our debt is growing at a faster rate, right? So we're gonna have to pay a little bit longer. So I'm just gonna change that for 24 points, the APR to 24.7. Everything else stays the same, right? And I hit enter. That's how we get 15.16 payments. Now. if you take a look, we're really paying, the first two are paying 15 payments, and the last one is paying 16 payments. And you may think, if it's just like a one payment difference, it's not really that different, right? But that's why I created this table for you. So take a look. I may hide these. Right now, the middle one right now. How can I hide it? I'll just change the font size to color to white. Now, what I did was I copied down the number of payments required per each of these loans, each of these APRs. Now, what is the total amount paid? And I actually created this last column, last column called total amount paid, to see if you're paying $115 and you're making 14.1 payments, how much do you end up paying in the end? Well, that came out to be $21.15. Now, if you're paying $150 payment every month, but then the number of payment is slightly higher, 14.58, and the total amount paid is slightly higher too, $21.87. You see what I'm doing though? I'm just simply multiplying 150 by the number of required payments. The last one is 150 times 15.16, and these are just the numbers that I got from NPER function. And the last one, I ended up paying $22.74. Notice the one with the highest APR, we ended up paying the highest total amount, right? Now, if I want to figure out the interest paid, well, these three, notice we're paying different amount in a different time, but we really borrowed the same amount in the beginning. Like the first one, if I want to find out the interest that's been paid, what I can do is I can do the total amount paid, $21.15, minus the original amount that I actually borrowed, $19.37. What I got is, for borrowing from this credit card company, I paid them $178 in interest. Okay, next one, if I want to find the interest that I paid, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do total amount paid minus the original amount borrowed. Total amount paid is $21.87, subtract the original amount of $19.37. So as you can see, the interest that we paid is slightly higher compared to the one with the lower APR. Now, as you can expect, this will be the highest. Now, subtract the total amount by the original amount that you actually borrowed on this credit card. So, with the highest APR, of course, you're going to pay the most interest. So, if you have a credit card, get your credit card and see what your APR is. I should check mine too. Because if you are working, if you've been making payments every month, you may be able to go to your credit card company or your bank and see if they can offer you a better APR. They may be able to lower it for you so that you don't pay, more in interest. So you want to go with lowest APR they can offer. That will be great, right? Okay, so that's how you will do the first one on the first page. But I got a couple, like two more examples on the second page that I want to go over with you. So, this is so sad. Guys, I went over this in another video that took me about like 40 minutes. But just never saved on my computer. So, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go over them with you again. Because that just never got posted. All right, next one. You owe $35.98 on your credit card, which has an APR of 18.4%. How much interest do you get charged this month on your balance of $35.98? Now take a look. APR is annual. So that's why I'm doing, well, that $35.98, that's how much you owe, times 18.4%, but that's annual, right? That's the annual interest. Guess what we have to do to find the interest charged this month? Now, no using that we got 12 months in a year. Make sure to divide that by 12. If you do that, you get the monthly interest to be $55.17. Okay, so that's the interest that you have to pay this month for owing them what? $3,598. Now, suppose you make a payment of $950. What is your new balance for the next month? So for this one, start with the original balance, okay? The original balance of $35.98, but because you made a payment, you're going to subtract that $950 from it, right? But that's not it. Because we did pay off this $950, but the credit card company will charge us how much? $55.17 for interest. So not only that you're subtracting away your payment, you have to add the interest charge. So it went down 950, but it's going to go up $55.17. If you do this operation, if you subtract and add, you will get the new balance is $27.03 and 17 cents. And you know, that's a very good, it went down a lot. Why? Because the payment, you made a big payment of $950, right? All right, so you continue to make this $950 each month. And this is really great. I wish I can do that. But that seems a little, that's a lot every month. How many total month will it take you to pay off the debt if you continue to make 950 payments each month? Okay, the last month you would pay just what you owe. Okay, what we're gonna do is use the NPER function again. Now, let me do that part again with you. Okay, so here's the NPER function. NPER is the function that you want to use if you want to figure out how many payments you have to make, or how many compounding periods. That's the wording. But what's the rate? 18.4%. Make sure to divide that by what? 12. Now, payment amount is 950, right? But notice I put negative in front of 950 because we're paying off $950 every month. So negative 950 is the payment amount. Now, present value is $35.98. And the future value, I want it to be 0. That's what I type it in. And then it's going to tell us, hey, you just have to make 3.93 payments to pay this off. And you know that came out to be just about 4 payments, right? Rounded up to be 4 payments. Now, 3 payments will be a full price of $950. But the fourth one will just be just what you owe. So the fourth payment is not going to be $950, right? So the answer is 4 months for that problem. And it came out very small, right? Because I know, you know, some people pay off their credit card like in 2 years, 3 years, 4 years period. And like car loans that we're going to look at in part 2, you know, usually people take like 5 years and sometimes 7 years to pay off, right? Why is it so short? How did this person manage to do that? Well, look at that monthly payment of $950. It's paying a lot every month, right? So that's what you can do. You can use the NPER function to figure out how long will it take for me to pay off my debt. Okay? All right, let's look at number 2 here. And I already highlighted this and I kind of went over this. I'm so sad I lost the first video, but well, at least I got my notes all written so that I can go a little bit faster with you. All right, suppose that on January 1st, you have a balance of $4,500 on a credit card whose APR is 14%. 14% is not that bad, I don't think, for a credit card. If it's a car loan or a mortgage, that will be horrible. That will be bad. But credit cards tend to have higher interest rate. Okay, which you want to pay off in 2 years. Now, this is very realistic, don't you think? Now, you owe $4,500 and you want to pay this off as soon as you can, because the longer you have it left, you know, the more interest is going to accrue, and you know, you're going to end up paying more if you don't pay it off soon enough. So you want to pay this off in 2 years. That's your goal. Assume that you make no additional charges to the card after January 1. Now, that is a commitment. Okay, you're like, I am not spending my credit card. You put it in the freezer, you cut it off, you're not going to use it anymore. I'm just going to pay this off. But then the question is, if I want to be done with this debt paying, how much should I be paying in 2 years? What's going to be my monthly payment? And that's a very good question, right? And for this question, we're going to use the payment function. And you already see what I did. I'm going to go ahead and use my payment function over here. Equal sign PMT. Because we're trying to figure out the payment amount. Now, what's the rate? It's 14%, right? But remember to divide this by 12, because we're making monthly payments. Now, what's NPER? Oh, NPER. How many payments are we going to make? Well, every year we have 12 payments, but we're trying to pay this off in what? 2 years. So we're going to end up paying 24 payments. So do 12 times 2 or enter 24. The present value is 4,500, isn't it? And then the last part. We want the goal. We want the future value to be how much? $0. So this is actually the problem from what? 9.4. I think you could have done this one without going over it together because you used payment function last week. If I hit enter, it tells me that, and it came out negative because, I mean, if you think about it, you have to pay them off that much every month. So the payment amount is going to be $216.06. That's how much you have to pay the credit card company every month if you want to finish your credit card debt in 2 years. Now, that's why I have that number right here. Now, the next question, when the card is paid off, how much will you have paid since January 1st? Now, each payment is $216.06. How many of those such payments did you just make? Well, each year, we pay, 12 payments per year for 2 years. So you can do that payment amount times, 24, or 12 times 2. And that gives us $5,185.44. Now, this is definitely more than what we actually borrowed, right? We only borrowed $4,500 on this credit card, but we ended up really paying $5,185.44. So how do you explain the difference? 5185.44 minus 4,500. That $685.44 was paid toward your interest for borrowing the credit card company's money for 2 years, right? That's that APR that's playing a big role. And what could we have done with that money? Different things, right? So the sooner you pay it off, the less interest you will end up paying. But now the very last question is asking you this. What percentage of your total payment from Part B is interest? And you see how I actually already computed the interest amount. Remember, part over whole times 100, that's what we're doing here. The part was interest amount. $685.44 went toward interest out of $5,185.44. Now the other one was other part was the principal, the amount that we actually borrowed. Don't forget to divide and multiply by 100 to convert it into a percent, and then you will get 13.2%. Okay, 13.2%. And it came out a little bit, I don't think it was it was good, I think. I think the success was because this person, was committed and did not make any additional charges to the card, but this doesn't always happen, right? I mean, for me at least, I decide, okay, you know what? I'm just going to pay off my credit card this month. I'm just going to pay it, but I will not buy anything on Amazon. But that doesn't really happen, right? We pay some off and then we're like, oh, I'll just buy this one children's book this month. And we actually end up spending more. So in more realistic cases, and I know on the canvas, you got a blank table. But you know what happened to my previous video. I recorded the whole thing and just got lost. So I ended up actually doing this on this Excel. But I do want to do this with you. I want to show you how I got this. So I'm going to go ahead and see if I can just do Command Z a couple of times to go back to the original. So this was the original table that I started with. This is what you have on your blank note. Let's do this together. The table below shows the expenses and payments for 8 months on a credit card account with an initial balance of $450. So we owe this credit card company $450 right now. Assume that the interest rate is 2% per month. Well, that means 24% APR. And that interest for a given month is charged on the balance for the previous month. Complete the table. After 8 months, what is the balance on the credit card? And let's take a look. Month 0, no payment, no expenses. We just start with $450. But look at that. After 1 month, what happened? The interest actually went up to went down. It went down. The balance went down to 209. So this is a good month for this person. This person paid off some debt, right? Because I can see the payment was $450, and he only really went out and spent how much? $200. Okay? But there was an interest charge of $9. So, how they added up, it turned out to be $209. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to figure out the rest of these. I got how many blanks is that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 times 2, 14 blanks. So it's actually easier to do this on Excel. So copy this and just put it on Excel for me, and let's do it over here. Okay? So let's figure out the interest first. Interest is going to be, they said, 2% every month, right? The interest that's going to be charged on the second month is going to be the balance that we owe them at the end of the first month times 2%. So what is $209 times 2%? The interest is going to be $4.18. All right, so what about the ending balance of month 2? Well, this is going to be we gotta start with the beginning balance, which is the ending balance of month 1. Click on that. 209 minus, we're gonna subtract the payment amount. We paid off $100. But then, this month wasn't too good, because not only that he paid $100, he actually went out and spent $100. So add that $100, and then add that interest of $4.18. So take a look. The new balance is going to be the beginning balance minus the payment plus the expense plus the interest charge. This month was not good because he spent $100, and then $100 was the only payment he made, and again he got charged the interest of $4.18. So the debt went up. The balance on this credit card went up. Now, why did I do this on Excel? Because if I use Excel formula and relative cell referencing, I can go ahead and just fill this cell down. Notice how these are all zero for right now. Why? Because I don't have any numbers on these cells. So if I copy this down, ta-da, ta-da, I will get, if I double click on this, and then you did this on a budget homework, so I think you understand this. If I did this in the beginning of the semester at this speed, you'd be like, oh no, I'm lost. But you did a homework problem, like the budget one, that was very similar to this, so I think you're okay with this. But then the formulas that I entered were over here, simply the balance times 2%, and this one was beginning balance minus the payment amount plus expense plus the interest, and all I did was I just filled it down, copy the formula down all the way to this, because the question they were asking was, after 8 months, what is the balance on the credit card? And we're looking at it. The balance on the credit card after 8 months is $185.68. So what I did when I first recorded that video at a much slower rate of speed, I just screenshotted it and then I just changed it to this one. That's why I had that when I started going over this problem with you. If this video file doesn't save, I don't know what I'm gonna do. But we got the answer. After 8 months, what is the balance on the credit card? $183.68. I'm not saying you cannot do this by hand, but it was much easier when I use Excel, because I didn't have to do 17 calculations or 14 calculations. So that's what I would do if you see this problem on your 9.5 homework or your quiz 6. I will be back with the video on the second part, understand amortized loan, very shortly, okay? And I do apologize for not posting this video soon. As I told you, my first attempt just went to, I don't know where it went. It's probably saved somewhere, but since I cleared the memory on my computer, this video should save. So let's take a look, okay?